Welcome to the City Show. Pat O'Melia here. You concerned resident there. That's why we do this show. Keep you informed, keep you educated, try to entertain you a little bit. If you need to get in touch with me, everything's on the bottom of the screen. Twitter, YouTube, live stream. Download the live stream app. A lot of programming on it. It's free to use. That's our base streaming channel, and we're on Facebook and YouTube. Like us on Facebook, love us on YouTube, all that. Brian Stack. There's probably no one who does a better job with constituent services than Brian Stack. Never go to City Hall. There's lines of people waiting to see Brian Stack for whatever problems they're suffering in Union City. And I'll say about 99.9% of the time, Brian handled it. Some landlord in Union City decided to evict a Union City resident. The woman had gone food shopping. She came back and doors padlocked, all her belongings were thrown out in the garbage. This is in the land of Stack. There is a moratorium right now on eviction through the governor. Whether it's the governor or not, you don't do that in Brian Stack's Union City. Brian Stack took him to court. Of course, the judge ruled in favor of Union City, the tenant and Brian Stack. Landlord has to let him back in, has to return all the property. You don't have it, you're going to pay for it. If I was that property owner in Union City, I would sell as soon as possible. Brian Stack is not going to forget what you did to this, I believe, a single mother, one of his constituents in Jersey City. You will be repeatedly visited by various spirits from Union City, from building department, fire marshals, you name it, whatever code enforcement Brian can send to you, you are forever on Brian's list. And I don't think you get off that list. We're going to break the commercial. You're watching The City Show. I'll be right back.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design studio and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
We're back. You're watching The City Show. Before, I got interesting numbers on property taxes in Hudson County, in the state. It was property taxes yearly through all 565 municipalities. But before I get into that, let's get into a tragic fire last week here in Jersey City that claimed the lives of two children, one 11-year-old girl and an 8-month-old boy. The 11-year-old girl ran back into the house to save her little brother, and it didn't work out. There are two GoFundMes set up to help the family with the cost and trying to get them back on their feet. One is set up by the family themselves, and another one by the Jersey City Education Association. We'll show the links and the GoFundMes. We're going to tweet it out. Whatever you can afford, $5, $10, whatever it is, it would be greatly appreciated. Burns Brothers Monuments and Memorials. Johnny Burns has offered to supply the headstones free of charge. Johnny has done this numerous times in Jersey City. Certainly somebody we need to recognize in Jersey City someday, somewhere along the line, how charitable John Burns and Burns Brothers Memorials in Jersey City is here. And like I said, anything you can do is appreciated. We're not sure what caused this tragic fire yet, but I'm almost going to venture and say it was a space heater. It's something electrical, I'm sure. People always look at these space heaters as, they're safe. They're not. Do not buy a cheap space heater. And when you're buying it, make sure there is a heavy cord. Make sure you have the UL rating on it, Underwriters Laboratories. That'll steer in the right direction. If you are using an extension cord, make sure you use a heavy extension cord that can handle the amperage. And those space heaters use a lot of amps. They're probably around 10 amps apiece. And if you got a cord on that extension cord that looks like it belongs on a lamp, don't plug it in to a space heater. Make sure you have the right cord. Make sure the right cord is on the space heater. Do not buy a $20 space heater. If you're going to buy it, you know, we use them here in the studios. I got some at home. The ones we have are like $120. They're all digital, good cords on it. You get what you pay for. If you buy cheap, you get cheap. Hopefully, you know, I don't know what caused the fire. You know, and you'd hate to think of somebody that bought that space heater, because that's going to haunt them for the rest of their life. But getting back to the GoFundMe's, if you can, anything you can do. And again, to John Burns with Burns Brothers Monuments and Memorials, and also Hooper out in North Arlington. That's part of the John Burns empire. Thank you, John, and thank everybody who has donated so far. It's tragic, but Jersey City, we stand up for the people here in Jersey City. Property taxes. Everybody's complaining about them. You know, we're looking at Jersey City. They have a budget hole of about $300 million for the school board right now. You know, somehow, some way, that's coming to you, the property taxpayer. The patch, you get it online, it's Google patch, and you just put your zip code in. It'll tell you what's going on in your area. They just did a story. They put together all the property taxes for 565 municipalities that we have in New Jersey. Jersey City, did pretty good. Number 366. You do not want to be number one. Number one is very bad, very bad. You want to be number 565. In Hudson County, the worst one we had was Weehawken. That was number 100, and Weehawken, the annual taxes there are $12,007. Jersey City, it is $7,279 a year. North Bergen, where our studio is here, Saco has it at $78.86. Pretty good, because he's going to get a lot of help with his school taxes there, so that's pretty good by Nick. Union City was in at $293 at $83.22 a year. Let's see, like I said, you want to go down. You don't want to be high, you want to go down. Secaucus, $432 at $6,559. Guttenberg, it was at 211, small little town there, $96.37 a year. Hoboken, 285 at $8,453. Bayonne, number 170, at $10,279. If you were fortunate to live in Teterboro, it would only cost you $2,069 a year. One of the things that helps Secaucus, why they're 432, is half the town is industrial. And with the warehouses and assembly and manufacturing, they don't use a lot of the city services. You're seeing that in North Bergen. More and more North Bergen is setting themselves up that way. Everything basically west of Tunley Avenue will be industrial, and that'll bring down your taxes in North Bergen. We're going to break for commercial. You watching the City Show? I'll be right back.
Stevens Jersey City Ford, located right off of NJ 440 North. Across the Hudson Mall is your one-stop for all your automotive needs. Check out Ford's latest models like the 2020 Ford Fusion with its stylish looks and hybrid options, or the unparalleled high-performance 2020 Ford Mustang. The 2020 Ford F-150 Raptor is ready for those rugged off-road terrains with trail control. Need a mid-sized truck for your towing and hauling? The 2020 Ford Ranger will deliver. The 2020 Ford Escape is a luxury SUV that was made for comfort and adventure on the go. Returning is Ford's legendary Bronco, which takes you back to the true meaning of off-roading. They are now available for pre-order in our showroom or on our website. Let us help you find your next vehicle. Stevens Jersey City Ford, 201-432-7272.
We're back. You're watching the City Show, going over these numbers for the property taxes. Remember, Pat O'Neil here, you concerned resident there. You look at Jersey City. The problem with Jersey City is we don't have a lot of industrial anymore in Jersey City. We've built on it. For that matter, in Bayside, with the huge development that Mayor Fulop is spearheading, for affordable housing. It's got a hell of a development. That was all industrial. You know, companies and warehouses and restaurants, they don't need all the city services. There's no school involved with the industrial. We got away from that. You look at Secaucus and North Bergen. Look at Bayonne. Bayonne is, what was their number? 170 at 10,279 a year. You'll see that number coming down as more and more of the military ocean terminal gets developed, and Mayor Davis is going industrial. For that matter, they just landed Amazon. They're going to have like 1,000 new jobs coming there. Good job by Jimmy Davis. As soon as we get the next paper, we'll get to the next segment. Snow! Oh, man. Said it last week. Enough with the snow already. I'm done with February and winter. Either I'm up to my knees in snow, or I'm friggin' freezing out here. Freezing rain, snow. We got another storm coming in Thursday afternoon, Thursday night, and I don't know when the locust is coming, but I'm sure it is coming. Let's get the hell out of February. I'll take my chances in March. March is it's a shaky month too. Put snow, but I'll take my chances. February is killing me. I got to keep using the Jeep, the four-wheel drive. I like to spread my cars around for when I'm driving. I don't put mileage all on one. And I got a van. I got a Lincoln 2007 Lincoln Continental. Both of these are useless in the snow. There's no weight over the rear axle, so I got to keep using the Jeep for the four-wheel drive. But as it begins to snow, I usually do this every year with snow tips. Probably should have done a little earlier when we got a foot and a half out here in Jersey City. Here's some snow tips. First and foremost, if you have kids, send them out to shovel. Don't you go out and shovel, send your kids out there. Don't pile the snow on the fire hydrant. Big problem. There's an issue on your block, can't find the fire hydrant, the street is snow covered, you don't see the fire decal or the fire emblem in the street, that could be a big problem. Do not bury the fire hydrant. When you're digging your car out, and you will, don't throw the snow in the street. Now, that said, when you are throwing your snow in the street, spread it out. Don't have a big pile in the street. It defeats the whole purpose. You know, you got to put a mound of snow in the street, you're causing a problem. Then the street sweeper comes, the plow comes and just plows you back in again. Don't do that. Don't bury the car behind you when you're digging out. When you're shoveling, have a plan. You're shoveling your car out, and you will be shoveling your car out. When you shovel out the back and the front of your car, don't throw it on. Try to build a little pile on the sidewalk. Spread out a little in the street. We're all going to do that. When you're digging out behind your car, in front of your car, think about the garbage cans. They're going to pick up garbage in the snow. Dig a path for these guys to get to those cans. What I do, once I dig the path, I'll bring the cans out behind the cars, in between the cars, so the garbage guys don't have to go up on the sidewalk, so they don't slip and fall. Don't tackle the snow all at once. Don't wait for a foot and a half to fall, then you're out there with your shovel. Go out a few times a night. If you got a snow blower, do the same thing. Go out a few times a night, move the snow, you know, little bites at a time instead of dealing with what I think they're talking about 6 or 7 inches on Thursday. Little bites. Go out a few times. Again, if you got kids, get out there. Help your neighbor. Shovel them out. If you know you got seniors next door, like what we do, we got Harry next door. His kids have all moved on. But we got a snow blower now. We'll take the snow blower, we'll do the front of our house, then we'll do the front of Harry's. But even when I was shoveling, I always did the front of Harry's house, and I put rock salt down. One of the worst things you can do is your neighbor has to go out and shovel, sees you out there with a snow blower. He's looking out the window saying, look at this. Think you could just run it up my sidewalk? Help your neighbors. It's the right thing to do. If you are an oil heat customer, dig a path to that oil fill. And once you do, put something over the oil fill. If you got a traffic cone, a pot, a bucket, a big can, so when that guy's coming to make that delivery, he can find it. Close the mirrors on your car. A lot of mirrors get knocked off when they're doing that snow plowing. Don't park too close to the corner. The trucks need a lot of room to make turns. Let's show some Christmas photos. Let's do this real quick, then we'll break the commercial. We awarded, nothing says winter like Christmas photos. We awarded our Christmas winners last week, so John, if you would pull them up, then we'll go to break. Here we go. That is, who we got there? That's Mayor Sacco, and 2 of the 3 winners were here. One had a problem finding a place, but there's no place to park. There's another fine North Bergen home. That's Mayor Sacco. You got Anthony Veneria, Julio, Alan Pasquale. There's Mayor Fulop. That's with Anna Rose, an old friend of mine. Her house won on Gray Street. These guys over on New York Avenue, traditional winners now. They're probably the new John Seborowski, who is now the contest is named after them. Another repeat winner here on Cambridge Avenue. All 3 winners of the John B. Seborowski Jersey City Best Christmas Decorated Home Contest. They got their plaque, they got their money. Now we're going to go for commercial. You're watching The City Show. I'll be right back.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
The Jersey City Medical Center. You know it for its award-winning life-saving ambulance service. It's also your health hub, with health and wellness locations staffed with certified professionals all through Hudson County. The Jersey City Medical Center, here to help you with your healthy, here when you need us the most. The Jersey City Medical Center. Visit us on the net to learn more. Jersey City Medical Center, Robert Wood Johnson, Barnabas Health Facility. Let's be healthy together.
We're back. You're watching The City Show. Pat O'Melia here. You there? Civilian, I'm saying it wrong. Civilian Complaint Review Board for the police. That is on the agenda for February the 23rd here in Jersey City. I'm in favor of the CCRB. I think all towns should have it, but they should also be uniform all through. We shouldn't have a different type in Jersey City, another one in Bayonne. I honestly believe for Hudson County, well, there's going to be expenses associated with the CCRB. And you know who pays when there's expenses associated with anything citywide? You. So I strongly propose that we have a countywide one where each municipality would pick someone, and we'll have a czar, that runs it, and each meeting could be in a different one of the 12 municipalities in Hudson County, and you would spread the expense of the CCRB through the 12 municipalities in Hudson County, instead of every city or municipality, city or town that we have in Hudson County having their own CCRB with all the expenses that are associated with. And we're talking $1 million, $2 million a year, as I understand it. We can do other things with the $1 million, $2 million a year. That's why I'm really suggesting a countywide one. Now, I'm a big believer in all of our civic warriors here in Jersey City. I'm one of them. I've been on the front line for like the last 25 years with various causes and dedications and whatever we were doing. I truly appreciate all the efforts of all the civic warriors who were involved with pushing for the CCRB. But I strongly believe with the CCRB, we need legal professionals on the board. Can have some of the civic people, but like New York City, I think probably 90% of the CCRB in New York City are legal professionals. And who are they? Lawyers, maybe retired lawyers, retired judges, retired police, law professors, law clerks, everybody who's involved in the legal world. We're making decisions on professional police officers, professional legal enforcement officers, and that's what they really are. They are our first line of defense. If we are going to make judgments and possibly they could lose their jobs or be written up, it should be by a jury of their peers, people in the legal field. You know, you have a medical review board. They got medical professionals all through that medical review board. There's not a bunch of civic warriors there. As much as I appreciate civic warriors, we're not all versed in the ins and outs of law. So that's why they're legal professionals. We are all good at what we do, and we can push an issue. But when it comes to making decisions on a police officer or a detective, you need a board of professionals to do that. You know, even aviation review boards. When they're investigating a crash or whatever it is, there's always professionals there. Again, no disrespect to the civic warriors. I'm one of them. But when it comes to the CCRB, we need professionals there. Also, it's premature to bring the Jersey City CCRB before the city council, before Trenton has figured out what the ins and outs of the CCRB was going to be. There is a lot of talk about subpoena power for the CCRB statewide. Again, I think the state should establish what is going to be the CCRBs for every municipality. What is the makeup of the CCRBs? That should be done by Trenton. Before we vote on a CCRB here in Jersey City, shouldn't we wait for Trenton to give us some guidance on this? Voted into law? Why are we doing this until we know what's going to be the law coming out of Trenton? What's the legislation going to be? Now, listen, I'll admit, it is probably going to be a while before we have that guidance out of Trenton concerning the local CCRBs. But I'll go back to what I just said. If we're going to have it in Jersey City and all the other municipalities are going to have it, we should just have a county-wide one. Probably they should do that in all of the 21 counties here in New Jersey to spread the expense of the CCRBs evenly. Like I said, what I'm hearing is like $2 million a year, $2 million a year. That's a lot of money. We can do a lot of things with $2 million a year. But again, before we do anything, we need guidance out of Trenton, and that hasn't happened yet. They haven't made it into law. All right, we're going to break for commercial. You're watching The City Show. I'll be right back.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers the quality of life you deserve in 10 high-rise rental towers with amenities such as the on-site Newport Path subway, light rail and ferry service, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Sears, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams Supermarket is just outside your front door. A health and fitness club, spa, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. NewportNJ.com. Enjoy the New York skyline from Newport Town Square. Manhattan is just one path stop away or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Want to visit Newport? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. Go to NewportNJ.com for details. Newport has luxurious towers, great restaurants, shopping, New York skyline views, schools, playgrounds, a marina and yacht club, gym, spa, fine wine, fine living. It's incredible. It's you. NewportNJ.com. Newport, live like you want.
We're back. City Show here. Pat O'Melia, you there? NJ.com, the Jersey Journal, did a story on the redevelopment in Journal Square, and there's a lot going on in Journal Square. A lot of this is following the guidelines of the 2060 Journal Square redevelopment program. That is 10, 11 years old now. Boy, has there been a real difference in our world in 10 or 11 years. We probably should go back and revisit the rules and regulations with this redevelopment program in Journal Square. First off, it doesn't have any affordable housing component to it. That is a relatively new thing. We should probably go and revisit that. Journal Square is certainly going to develop. If you take the path every day, the last thing you want to see is any more development on the square because the paths are packed as it is. And there's only so much they can expand and how many more trains they can run. By the time it hits Journal Square, the path It's pretty much packed. The developers always use the same BS line that the people moving to Journal Square or downtown Jersey City are carless. They don't have cars. They're from New York. They don't have cars. Well, that is like real BS. I want you to look at this Google Earth shot we took. Now, this is just behind Christ Hospital on Hoboken Avenue going down to Jersey Avenue and 18th Street. This is all relatively new development. All the people who don't have cars, they're going to be carless people. If you can, you look around all those developments and going all the way up Hoboken Avenue behind Christ Hospital, there are cars parked all over. How can that be? These are carless people. Where did these cars come from? Here's the problem. When the carless people come to New Jersey, one of the reasons they're coming to Jersey, they would like the freedom of having a car. And unless they're going to live a gerbil existence where they come down the elevator in their high-rise, get on the path, and go over to New York City, then come back out of the path and up to the streets, they're going to need a car. Because unless they plan on going anywhere else, guess what? You need a car in Jersey City. We don't have subways running all over like they do in New York City. We weren't developed that way. We don't have buses that go everywhere. We have very few buses, very limited buses. And the bus system that we have is so underwritten. Whatever the bus fare is, 90% is probably coming out of the taxpayers. You know, you don't ride a bus, but you're paying for a bus. You know, we don't have mass transit per se here in Jersey City. So yes, you need a car. We're effing Jersey people. We all have cars. We drive our cars all the time. And for anybody to say that, like I said, you know, it's a satellite shot. But if you can see it, you'll see cars parked all over the place there. But they're all carless. How can it be? Because it's all BS. I remember a developer, I think it was 350 Warren Street when that was being redeveloped. They were talking about the studios. Now, well, by the way, in Journal Square, they're saying a studio for the carless people who don't care if they pay $1,900 a month for a studio apartment. When they were developing, I think it was 350 Warren Street, the developer actually said, well, these are young couples. They won't be having children. I'm sitting in the back, and I'm saying, they're not going to be having children. Young couples, I'm sure they're going to be having children. But the argument with the developer was, well, they're not going to have cars, they're not going to have children, so don't worry about parking or overcrowding the schools. Well, guess what? Schools are overcrowded. So that's all the BS. And one other thing, let me get a real quick shot of the snow shots. When you see snow on a corner in the Heights here in Jersey City, people look at that and say, well, that's unused space. We should put a little parklet there and put some trees there. This is my buddy Kevin Bing. When that 1.5 feet of snow melts, believe me, the space will be used. There will be school buses, there will be delivery vans, there will be cars, and also that's coming out of the Holland Tunnel there. That's a tough turn, but actually that's a one-way street going west, so we're not making a turn into it. But all that land will be used. Take it to the bank. We don't need to put a parklet there, or Kevin Bingy put some trees there. We're going to plant trees. All right, we're out of show. You be good. You be safe. I'll talk to you next week. Remember, little bites out of the snow. Good night.